Well then, friends, make yourselves comfortable. The story I'm going to tell you today happened to me about 12 years ago. I was around 60 at the time. My hair had already turned gray, and my back had started to ache whenever the weather changed, but I could still work. Besides, where else was I supposed to go? I'd been a night watchman my whole life. Not a security guard at a shopping mall, not a gatekeeper at an entrance, but a night watchman. The kind of person who sits alone at night, face to face with the darkness. I guarded warehouses, abandoned factories, old sanatoriums, construction sites, and military facilities. I've seen it all, and gradually I stopped being afraid of ordinary things. When you work at night for years, you start to realize that most scary stories stem from fatigue, loneliness, and an overactive imagination. That's what I used to think. Until that cemetery, the job offer came out of the blue. In a village not far from the regional capital, the local administration was looking for a caretaker for an old cemetery. The pay was meager, but there was hardly any work to do. Just sit in the guardhouse and make sure metal thieves don't steal the headstones, the chairman explained. I agreed. And a week later, I found myself there. I still remember my first impression. It was a cloudy day. Gray clouds hung low in the sky. The cemetery was about a kilometer from the village. An old dirt road led into the forest, then took a turn, and a rusty metal fence appeared behind the trees. When I first saw this place, I felt a little uneasy. Not out of fear. It was some kind of strange feeling, as if time had stopped here many years ago. The cemetery was huge, much larger than you'd expect for such a small village. Later, I found out why. People from several different settlements used to be buried here, but then a new cemetery was built nearby, and the old one was gradually abandoned. The last funeral took place back in the 80s. Since then, nature has been reclaiming the land. Tall grass hid the old graves. Bushes had sprouted between the headstones. Some crosses had leaned so far that they were almost lying on the ground. And some graves had disappeared entirely beneath the roots of trees. My guardhouse stood in the middle of